Free Japan Channel number 114. Today, October 21st, Tuesday. The time is 7 p.m. Good evening. The autumn is here in Yokohama. Night sky is cloudy, so it's very cool and a bit cold. What is your autumn? How do you enjoy it? Today's FCC topic is new Prime Minister Takaichi. Today, on 21st, Mrs. Takaichi, the Diet member of lower house from Liberal Democratic Party, became the first female Prime Minister. It is the first time for Japanese modern history that women become Prime Minister of Japan. In addition, Financial Minister is Mrs. Katayama. This is also the first time for Japanese politics. Therefore, women are very salient in this new cabinet, Takaichi cabinet. Mrs. Takaichi is famous for her conservative action so far. And we are very curious about her future words and action. Can she continue that conservative remark and action from now on? Or does she have to modify her traditional way to adjust to liberal circumstances of Japanese politics? This is a very curious and interesting political question, so it remains to be seen. Anyway, Mrs. Takaichi is a conservative politician, even in the LDP. Liberal Democratic Party has been regarded as conservative party in the post-war era in Japan. However, for more than 30 years, so since 1990s, Liberal Democratic Party has been gradually changed, and they discarded conservative atmosphere and gradually getting closer to China, for example, Korea, or other international agents. Therefore, conservative Liberal Democratic Party disappeared in a sense. In this atmosphere, Mrs. Takaichi was more or less conspicuous because she stuck to her conservatism. As you know, former Prime Minister Mr. Abe was also a kind of conservative politician, and Mrs. Takaichi was so-called cherished by Prime Minister Abe. Therefore, those who supported Mr. Abe at that time now welcomes the birth of Takaichi cabinet because the serial relationship between Abe and Takaichi is clear for Japanese people. Next week, President Trump will come to Japan to negotiate some issues with Japanese counterpart. And Japanese counterpart is, of course, Mrs. Takaichi. Therefore, Trump is famous for being conservative, and Takaichi is also conservative. Therefore, these two leaders can get along with each other, in my opinion. And this is the first time for them to talk to each other directly. Mrs. Takaichi was not so outstanding position so far. Therefore, she was not foreign minister, and she didn't have any chance to talk with Mr. Trump. This is the first time for Takaichi to talk with Trump. But these two persons can get along with each other so good, in my opinion, because of their conservative temperament. How will the meeting be next week? This is a very interesting scene. Therefore, we should look forward to it. After the Trump visit, so in November, maybe, Mrs. Takaichi will dissolve the lower house of the Diet. The upper house of the Diet cannot be dissolved. However, lower house can. And Mrs. Takaichi will dissolve it and questioning the reliability of new cabinet to citizens. This is a very good opportunity for Japanese citizens to show the will whether citizens support new cabinet or not. Of course, personally speaking, I will not vote for LDP, even though the leader is Mrs. Takaichi. Now, Sansei Party is much more conservative than LDP. Therefore, Sansei Party is more attractive voting target for me. However, under this cabinet, LDP can increase its hegemony in Japanese politics. Sansei Party, of course, and the Komeito Party, which got out of the coalition, will lose its political momentum drastically. This is clear even from now. And other parties like Constitutional Democratic Party or National Democratic Party, these parties couldn't do anything. These parties couldn't do anything about the process of giving birth to Takaichi new cabinet. They could have done something to counter Mrs. Takaichi, but for example, Constitutional Democratic Party and National Democratic Party couldn't collaborate with each other politically to counter Mrs. Takaichi, even though they are minority parties. These two parties, Constitutional Democratic Party and National Democratic Party, were both derived from one party, Democratic Party of Japan. And this Democratic Party of Japan was once in the administration from 2009 to 2012. And these 3 years were literally nightmare for every Japanese citizen. We also remember that era. Therefore, they couldn't collaborate with each other, especially Democratic National Party refused to join Constitutional Democratic Party. Anyway, Mrs. Takaichi embarks on new journey, wonderful journey, maybe. So Tokyo stock market is soaring thanks to this new cabinet news. Wow, it's very good tendency, isn't it? Japanese politics as well as Japanese society was or has been dismal for these 30 years or so. Even under Abe administration, this dilapidated atmosphere couldn't be whisked away. However, this female Prime Minister, Mrs. Takaichi, can wash away this gloomy atmosphere of Japan. I'm now really expecting the future of Japan as well as the management of Mrs. Takaichi regarding government as well as Japan itself. Thank you.